Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Football Manager 2017. And in the last video, we managed to eke out a draw against the team Sheffield United that was predicted to finish first in our league. So that's not a bad conclusion. But as a result of that match, John Lundstrom will be suspended for the next match. I don't know if he's going to be suspended beyond that. I would imagine it'd just be one match. Let's just check that out. Yeah, banned for one English match because he accumulated 5 yellow cards. So as a result, we're going to have to change the tactics anyway, but let's take a look at our opponents. So in a few days, we'll be playing Southend here, and Southend is currently in 12th, and as far as predictions, they're predicted to be in 19th. So in theory, they should be, we should be the better team comparatively, but I am going to have to make some tactics change here. First off, Lundstrom's going to be out. But there's a number of things I'm going to want to change here. And the first thing is dealing with Wes Thomas here. Wes Thomas is really not happy on the team. He's not getting enough first team starts. And as a result, he is causing a lot of drama on the team. And I think it's time to offer him up for loan. The other thing is, though, the transfer window ended. I don't know if that is going to change things. Offer to clubs. I'm not sure where we do loan status. I've not actually done that before myself. Well, actually, I have. It's been a while. I only did it with one player. Let's see. Is it offer to clubs? Yeah, loan offer. That's what we want. And I would like some of his monthly fee to be paid. I would like... Is there a way you can do percentages? I thought there was a way. We want him to be first team. And end of season is fine. Preferred position. I'm not going to select anything here. I just want them to do some percentage of his monthly amount. So his salary is 130K. Is that per match, I'm assuming? Or is it per annum? Well, we don't want them to pay us extra. Ah, here we go. Unused salary percentage. No, playing salary percentage. That's what we want. So we want, let's say 50%. There we go. That is what I'm looking for. And we'll offer him to clubs. Hopefully that will make him happy. Because right now he's not happy. We'll offer him to clubs and see what happens. Yep. All right, so he's up on offer. Happy with his head coach's team treatment of Wes Thomas. All right. So, but for whatever reason, his morale is in the dumps, even though he's happy with the fact that we told Wes Thomas to suck it pretty much. You're not going to get first team because there's a better player on the team. I mean, he's not a bad player, and I'd love to use him, but unfortunately, we just don't have a place for him on the first team roster. He's been mostly in a sub role, and he hasn't been getting used very often because Hemmings has been sticking in the games pretty much every game. So mostly he's been a backup, really. All right, with that being said, I think it's time to change some strategy things as a result. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the layout of our more defensive setup because we'll be removing Wes Thomas from that setup. He's not going to get any first team starts now because he's pissed me off. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to change the overall strategy of the team. And what I would like is right now, Johnson, who is a pretty good player, is not even getting, he's not even up for a sub. So what I would like is we're going to take Wes Thomas out. We'll put Johnson in. I mean, I'd much rather have Johnson in there than have Wes Thomas in there when he's going to be a crabby baby about everything. And we're going to make you a winger. And I'll put you on the support because it doesn't seem like it really matters either way. And then McGuire will bring back and stick on the other wing. And we'll make him a winger, but on attack. And Lundstrom we're going to have to sub out, but I'm still going to keep him where he is for now. So this is going to be even more defensive than it was in the past. But what I might do is rather than have it be full defensive, have it be a counter setup instead. And this will be kind of our hang with the tougher teams setup. So mostly for this, I'm going to just have to sub out Lundstrom. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. And as a matter of fact, with this setup, we've got Tyler Roberts that can come in as our striker to replace Hemmings. I don't know if he's very good anywhere else. So the question is, Marvin Johnson, who's going to replace him if we sub him out? Well, Rob Hall could, but he's injured. Ruffles could, but he's not particularly good in that position. And Roberts is there. Let's say we just put Roberts in here to see if there's a way we can improve him. Okay, so that's as good as it gets, it looks like. So the biggest problem with this, and this is the reason why I didn't want to do a setup like this, I mean, more or less, I was being told to do a 4-4-1-1 setup by the AI. And the main reason I wasn't doing this is because I felt like sub-wise, we didn't really have much going for us. Like, for instance, I can't sub Johnson. Not with anyone that's any good, that is. And then Ledson, we have Crowley and Circumbe. And then Lundstrom, same difference. Although, technically, Charles Cook could step in. Yeah. And then we have McGuire, who we have McDonald and Tyler Roberts again. Now, McDonald is much better in that role. And out of curiosity, is McDonald on the list here? He is, but very far down. Out of curiosity, if I were to put McDonald in that place, he's not currently a sub, but let's say we put him here. Is there a way we could make him better? If we made him a wide midfielder, that would bring him up and either support or attack. I mean, he'd at least be 1.5 stars, which is, you know, not the best, but it's better than he was. Let's get Johnson back in here. All right, so Johnson, Tyler Roberts, okay. Now, Wes Thomas is currently not even listed as a backup. And honestly, I think the only position he can play is striker. So I'd much rather have Tyler Roberts out there because he can play more than one position. Because he can replace Johnson and he can replace McGuire if required to do so. And he's not too bad in those positions. Now, the question is McDonald. We already just took a look at. He's more of a guy on the right, and it seems like that's really the only position he's comfortable with out of the positions we have, although, again, he could play Johnson's role. Beedling is in there for a defensive sub, as is Josh Ruffles and Aaron Martin. So we have 3 defensive subs, but Ruffles can play some midfield positions, as we saw when we were looking at Johnson here. So you know what? I think this is actually bad. I don't think we really need to change too much in the substitutions here. So a little bit of changes. And what I'll do is I will save this as my new B. So save that as B. Okay. And we'll save over that. Now that we have that done, we're not going to be playing this lineup, but I just wanted to set it up for the future. And I might want to look at my corners and things like that to make sure that's set up okay. But for the meantime, let's go over to our main setup because we're going to be using this against teams that are equal to us in ability or lower. And we're going to be facing someone just like that. So let's go ahead and grab our A strategy. The biggest thing we have to now decide on is where to put who to replace Lundstrom with, which shouldn't be too hard. As a matter of fact, who would be good as a sub overall outside of our normal subs? So right now we've got Charles Cook. Looks like he wouldn't be necessarily bad. Ruffles we already have as a sub. And then Ledson. Charles Cook could do it, but he wouldn't be as good as some of our other subs. And then as far as McGuire goes, we already have Crowley and Sercombe that can do that. And then McGuire, we have Crowley and Sercombe again. And then Johnson, we have Tyler Roberts as our main sub. Yeah, that looks good. Now, Wes Thomas is listed as a sub here. And I don't know if I'm going to keep that in there or not. But I think what we need to do is have Crowley come in, or Crowley or Sercombe. Okay, Sercombe come in and play Lundstrom's position, and then have Charles Cook come in and play as our sub. And then we have our midfielder subs, and we're good to go for the most part. The biggest problem I see is with some of our attacking midfielders, because we just took away one of the subs that we could have. So mostly it's on Tyler Roberts and Crowley to fill all these different positions. So that might be a little rough. We might have some guys tired here. But I think I'm pretty much happy. When we get Lundstrom back, things will be a little bit better. We are going to have to change his role to central midfielder on attack, because he's more comfortable in that, whereas Lundstrom we had in a more defensive role. And yeah, okay, so we'll just keep him in the role he's in. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this setup, and I think we're pretty much good to go. Hemmings is really liking his new role. It seems like it's suiting him pretty well. All right, so I'm happy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our inbox. So this is the 1-1 draw that I was talking about earlier. And our standings, we've dropped down into 7th place. Hopefully we can prevent any further drops. So let's go ahead and continue here. And as I said, we're going to have a match in a few days. We have a whole bunch of more stuff in here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's suspended, I know. Post-match analysis. Don't really care. No offers for Thomas. There haven't been any clubs willing to make a loan offer for Wes Thomas at this time. But at least he's up there. We'll see. But he's going to sit on the bench now because he pissed me off. All right, let's go ahead and continue here. All right, more stuff in there. Concord wants Giles on loan. Okay, Concord has made an offer for Oxford's Johnny. Okay. I think this was one of the... This is one of the players from our youth squad that we have up on loan, because I don't remember this player. And they're going to pay 100% of his salary, so I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and accept offer. And we'll tell him the player would benefit from first team soccer. Say, yep. And I think, as I have seen in the past, he can turn down the loan. So we'll go ahead and continue. All right, South End Scouting Report. So this is them. They run a 4-4-2 setup. And they do have the top goal scorer on their team with 9 goals. And they're a little lacking in decisions. As a matter of fact, I would like to look at our team report and just see some of the things. So, yeah, I've been telling them not to dribble the ball, so that's fine. We've already known that. We know that. We know that. Fade late in games. We're aware of that. Goals against. Okay, so cross is our biggest problem, and wow. Okay, so we have a lot more problems here, but hopefully we can address some of these things. And now we have a lot more positives as well, though, so that's good to see. Okay. And let's continue. Okay, pre-match analysis, South End. Which one's South End? I already lost track of which one's them. So I'm not sure if they won or lost, but again, 4-4-2 setup. And they are asking me to do the 4-4-1-1, stick positions, and work the ball in the box, and I ignore them every time, what they tell me to do. Okay, training advice. These are all players that are not on my main squad, so whatever you want to do. And they want to go up to a high intensity level, go right ahead. Okay, yeah, so come back. Which one this? South End. So yeah, South End lost their last match. Oxford United going to the away game with every chance of walking away with something against their... Okay, so we're favored. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Slight favorite South End, so they're favored. All right, well, it is an away match, they said. So that might be one of the reasons why they're giving them the advantage. And all right, so we have a run of games, and that's what they're asking them about. Let's go on to the match. I am still going to play my more offensive thing. All right, agreed to the deal, so we'll accept it. And, I mean, it's pretty much a loan. We get this guy developed, and we are free of his salary payments, so I'm happy with that. Okay. Hey, injury update. 4 to 8 days, so he is not long away from being back on our roster. We still have 3 to 4 months for Rothwell and 3 to 5 months for Ribeiro. Okay. Rob Hall, yeah, that's fine. Continue. We'll probably get an injury report on him for the match or fitness test. Charlie Tuttle is enchanted by trying to shadow Joe Scars. Tuttle feels that, okay, so a mentor role fell apart. And failed fitness test. So he's not recommended to be selected. We weren't planning on it. Let's continue. And it's time for the match preview. Okay, so they're going with their 4-4-2 setup. And we're going to go with our 4-2-3-1 setup. And as we know, John Lundstrom is suspended. They have a player suspended as well. And they also have 2 injuries. So pretty similar to the number of players that we have out. Just we have the addition of Rob Hall, which should be back soon. All right, now that we've got that taken care of, let's go ahead and go on to the team selection here. And we're going to keep our standard instructions. I probably should change the instructions for this tactic. I'll do that later if I remember. Because I don't know if the instructions I have for that now apply very well. For instance, exploit the middle doesn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. So let's play clear the ball to the flanks as a thing to do, because we are trying to do a more defensive setup. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to remove the dribble less instruction. All right. And I'll remove the get stuck in as well. But we'll say that. But I'm going to use this, of course, not our defensive setup. All right, so we're good to go. Anyway, we have the roster set up wrong here. All right, we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and submit the team. That's easy enough to fix. We'll just do that. And that's only happened because Charles Cook is in the lineup. Ordinarily, he would not be in the lineup, so that would be an issue. So we just move Jonathan flat down and bring Benji up, and no problem. Submit the team. All right. Warming up. Let's see what the pre-match is. I can't quite read it at the moment. Now, Southend was favored through the news report. Be a tight game, but I think Oxford will lose this one. All right, so they're saying Southend will win, even though they're predicted to finish below us in the standings. All right, well, let's go ahead and start the match, and my assistant will take care of that. And continue the opposition instructions. Let's apply advice. I am going to take a look at it, though, just to get an idea of what we've got here. So we've got a pretty quick striker here in the center. And what about their other striker? He's not quite as quick. I always worry about speed with the attacking players because of the chance of breakaways. And all right, so let's go ahead and continue to the... Why are we tackling this guy hard, out of curiosity? Oh, he's pretty darn good, huh? I don't know if I like this instruction, but I'm going to go ahead with it. All right, we need to encourage the team, so be passionate here. Go out there and impress me. All right, they listened, but nothing really improved there. All right, let's go ahead and go out there. The mood of Hemmings is a little bit better, so hopefully we will see improvement in play from him, although he's been doing just fine, in my opinion. All right, we're going to start with the ball here. All right. I wonder if the morale problem with Scars was because of that mentor thing and how the fact that it broke apart a little bit. So Hemmings has the ball, but he's being closed down on. I would expect that they would kind of shadow him. McDonald has it here. And we have a foul early in the game. Pretty close. I don't think it's going to result in a card. All right, deflection. Sircombe is going to get to it. Pass it back to Scars. We're just going to reset here. All right, unfortunately, I guess that play got broken up, maybe with that offside. Ooh. Fortunately, we were able to keep that guy away from the ball. Block him with our body. Errant kick there, but fortunately, McDonald picks it up. Hemmings has an opening here. Hemmings gets in. Oh, nice deflection by their goalie. They're going to be able to clear it and recover it before it gets kicked out. And they're going to kick it ahead. All right. We have possession. And we actually win that throw-in. That was kind of a silly mistake. Because there goes an opportunity there for their team. Cox has it on the side. We're probably going to see a cross here. Or a fumbled pass. There's a cross, but we have plenty of players on it. James is wide open, though. And they get a goal. That was terrible. They just controlled the box there. All right, well, hopefully we can come back from that, because that was just a boneheaded play that gave them an attack that we didn't need to have happen. We have made good progress towards clearing the ball there, but unfortunately, that created an opening where James could set up a pass, and there was really not a whole lot I think the defense could do there. I think they did a good job, it's just they didn't clear the ball when they needed to, and as a result, we kind of had some issues. Now, what we need to have here is a goal of our own. Hemmings had a really good chance to score a goal, and it didn't go in, and there was another good chance on our end. So we're getting the chances, they're just not going in, unfortunately. And we were controlling possession. Not so much anymore. Cross here. Fortunately, it is goes wide there. We got a free kick. Deflection. Ooh, they got a chance there. All right, hopefully we can start making things happen here, because this is looking a little ugly. Nice cross opportunity, but it's very errant. I hope that was not a shot. If that was a shot, I'm not too happy with that from McDonald. All right, looks like we might get that. Let's see if we can make some progress here. Hemmings has got room, but they're going to close down on him quickly. All right, McDonald's has a chance here, but fumbles the pass. Either that or he was tackled. It's kind of hard to make out. All right, McDonald's has it. Has a chance for Hemmings, but Hemmings, I believe, is offside. He's offside again. So, unfortunately, we just had a long-range shot there because the play had broken down. I don't feel like there was much other there wasn't much other option, in my opinion. There wasn't an obvious pass target, and McGuire has an opening here, but he just does not have the foot speed to get there. Looks like we're going to recover this. Unfortunately, it doesn't get to anyone. All right. We're going to have a cross here more than likely. And was on target, just didn't have a lot in it or on it. So Eastwood was able to get there, but that was definitely scary. I feel like we're not doing particularly well here. Their attack is very effective, and ours, I think, has been also equally effective. But at the same time, we just haven't gotten lucky with it. But their attacks have scared me to the point where I'm thinking we're going to get more goals scored on us. We just have kind of been lucky not to have more goals scored on us. All right. McDonald is going to lose the ball there. Not been happy with his play so far. Ranger has an opening and uses what he has to just power the ball. It's off target, but it was obvious he was being closed down and didn't have much reaction time, so it was a good play on his end. All right, we got an opportunity there, but it gets popped out. Unfortunately, McGuire isn't able to get there. We have another fantastic drive by the opposition. And they're going to have a good opportunity here. It bounces off, and we're going to clear it for a corner. I think we have to make a change up here. This is looking really ugly. I think it's too early to do that, though. All right, well, here they go on the attack again. All right, we win the ball there, but unfortunately don't keep it. I guess we break it free, not necessarily win it. Cross attempt there. It's broken up by our defenders. Another opportunity on their end with a throw-in. And James has all kinds of space. Yeah, I'm starting to think that this setup was the wrong setup because I just feel like we're getting outnumbered on the offensive end. Yeah, they're definitely not been good enough here. All right, we'll tell him to get out there. I think for the substitution, I might make a change, but the thing about it is I don't like it because we don't have a goal to really rest on with that defensive setup. So if we did, I would happily do that, but all right, finally, we win a ball. I feel like we're really missing Lundstrom here and his strong defense in the middle. McGuire. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. All right. We win that ball, but Hemmings knocks it forward, and that's pretty much where it gets our drive stops. James to Ranger. Ranger to Cox. We break that up. We might be able to get to it. There we go. McDonald gets it. Strong play by McGuire to allow that to happen. McDonald's going to come down the side, cross it to Hemmings. Hemmings has a good chance there, but it's off target. It's really unfortunate because we needed that goal. All right, we got a free kick here. Unfortunately, we lifted over the goal, so nothing doing there. They've been controlling possession, which means that we're kind of failing with our strategy here. Ledson's getting tired. I'll let him go a little bit longer, but I'm starting to think let's do the subs now, actually, because we need fresh legs out there, and we need to attack. So I'm thinking Ledson, we're going to take out for Crowley. And then Crowley is either good on the setup or the attack. I'm fine with the setup. And support, I apologize. I always call it setup. Yeah, okay. And the other fresh set of legs I'd like is I think McGuire is getting tired here. Do we have somebody that I can put in instead of Crowley here? I have Ruffles, which is not going to be a great sub for us. Damn, because I kind of want somebody to replace McGuire here so we have a better set of legs out there. Neither McDonald or Johnson are tired. Alternatively, I could bring Thomas in, but I've not been particularly happy with him lately. I feel like we got to let him play a little bit longer. I would love to replace McGuire, but I just don't have a good sub for him right now. Ordinarily, I would, but because of Lundstrom being out. All right, let's go ahead and confirm the sub. And out we go. All right, another opportunity here for McGuire that pops out. It's going to be a throw-in. All right, hopefully we can make something happen here because I'm not particularly happy with the fact that none of our opportunities here have pulled through. Another good opportunity there that doesn't turn into anything. Okay, we pop that ball out. Johnson's got it. I'm going to try for Hemmings here on the side, but he's going to have to hold on to it for a little while. Get it over to Crowley, who just long bombs it. Going to turn it into a corner. Dunkley hits it to Hemmings. Hemmings scores us a goal. All right, well, I already made one sub here. I think we're going to go with our defensive setup. I feel like we're being overmatched here. Now, if I go with this setup, the problem that I see is we might have some people out of position, but we can always sub things. All right, so the main thing is Crowley is kind of not in the best position here, or maybe it's his role. Yeah, advanced playmaker, support. Okay, so mostly everybody is in a position that they're okay with. We'll go support there, and we'll go attack here. Okay, so attack, support. So the main thing we're going to take out is McGuire here, which I wanted to take out anyway because he's getting tired. So if we take him out, Aaron Martin sounds like the obvious choice. And then for the setup, we'll make him be a stopper here in the middle. So we're just going to have one sub in there. We're going to change up our positioning here. And then Hemmings is going to continue being an advance forward on the attack. All right, well, I'm hoping that this will work out for us. And this is one of the big reasons why I wanted to make this change to this strategy, because it's very easy for me to switch to strategy like this with just one striker It's much harder with 2. All right. Because all we have to do is sub in 1 player and we've got it. And with that goal scored, I think that gives us a perfect opportunity to come in here and make the changes we need. So Dunkley tried for it, and then Hemmings just headed it off of Dunkley's header. And we had ourselves a goal. All right, so here comes our new strategy. Let's take a look at what they do. So opposition is still running the 4-4-2. I think we're now, let's apply advice here. So we're going to have a little bit different setup here because people have been doing various things. I mean, I'll do this here, but it looks like we're tackling a lot harder and everything. So if all this results in is a draw, it's a draw, not a loss. We can get some goals scored out of it. That'd be nice too. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at our tiredness here. So, Zerkombe is looking bad. Do we have a sub for him? I have one in Ruffles. We also have Dunkley tired and Scars tired. Ruffles is usually the sub for Scars. I think it's probably better if we go for a defensive sub. And if I were to do one, it would be Scars. Now, if I do that, of course, it eliminates our ability to attack. But I think at this point, we might as well sub somebody in here. So I'm going to have Ruffles come in. And then Ruffles, I think, is just fine playing the position he's in right now. So we'll go ahead and make that sub. And we're turtle it up a little bit here. Oof, that's scary. All right, we're going to get our last sub here. All right, we clear that. But there's going to be a cross here, so we got to be ready for it. All right, they're biding their time here. Hopefully that's not a card. Doesn't look like it. All right, we got an opportunity here with Johnson. Fortunately, lifts it above. We have outshot our opponent. But they have outpossessed us. Okay, this is looking scary. Come on, win that. Ooh, just a long bomb there. Sails over the goal. All right, hopefully we can hold off here. Got a throw in. Fortunately, they win it, but we're on him. Clear it to Hemmings. Hemmings has got it. Hopefully he doesn't do anything boneheaded here. Oh, over to Johnson, who has got an opportunity here. Unfortunately, I think we had a pass chance or a cross chance there, and Johnson just decided to be too aggressive, I think. Ooh, that was on target. Hemmings is going to get to it. We have a great cross opportunity here to Johnson, who, again, just bombs it. But that means that we're on the attack here, which is good news for me. All right, so we got 3 minutes of added time. That's still plenty of time to score a goal here. It would have been nice to have a second goal here. I think we had enough opportunities that it should have happened, but that's the way things go sometimes. We win the ball. Hemmings is going to get to it with plenty of room. We get it over to Johnson, who is also got plenty of room here. Good cross opportunity here. Hemmings, and in. There's the second goal we were looking for. And hey, this new strategy seems to work. If we see a team, it seems like they're outmatching us on the offensive end. This is not a bad change in the late game, because it's still a setup that can be offensive. It's not a complete turtling defense. All right, we've got a lot of tired guys out there. We got to throw in with not a whole lot of time left. They're going to clear it. Nice booming clear there. Cox is going to run for it, but I think we're going to meet him there. Our goalie's going to bomb it out. Edwards gets to it and passes it up to Hemmings. Hemmings has got some room, but a little bit too aggressive there. We might be able to get to this and get it to Johnson at the very least. All right, well, I'm pleased with this strategy so far. Oh, I mean, Johnson's getting tired here, but we can't lose balls like that when there's still game to go. And I'm not sure what that pass was. He just gave it back to the opposing team pretty much right away. But I'm a little bit less threatened with our current defensive setup. It doesn't mean that they can't make something happen, but we have a lot better chance of clearing it and making sure nothing happens here. This is a tense end of the game, but it looks like we're going to be able to pass it up to Hemmings. Hemmings has got it. May pass it, may not. There we go. Johnson's got another opportunity here. Over to Hemmings, but the pass is a little wide. McDonald attempts something. It's going to be a corner kick. Not a whole lot of time left, so this is probably going to be the last try here for our goal. We're going to go right in. We do get a bit of a clear, and Hemmings stumbles a little bit there. Doesn't quite get to it, but we're, I think, going to dribble out the ball here and have ourselves a nice victory. It was looking scary there. They got an early lead, but we were able to pool our efforts there and just kind of figure out what we needed to do strategically wise to address the opposing team. It seems like they were outmatching us on the offensive end, so I just switched over to our more defensive strategy, and it seems like it worked pretty well. Well, I don't think that I'm going to go ahead and praise these guys. You've done brilliantly to come back and win that. I'm proud of you guys for sure. And only a couple people seemed like that made them happy, but nonetheless, it really has improved morale quite a bit, especially for Hemmings, who had a very good match and scored us actually both of our goals. So that is fantastic. We weren't picked to win this, and we'll have the assistant handle that. We weren't picked to win this match, and we come out there and fantastic performance. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave the match here. And I think that is going to wrap up the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.